Morning world, it's the about 8:30 a.m, 8:45 a.m on the 15th of December 2021. This is going to be a bit of a ramble, okay? I woke up about 45 minutes ago after sleeping 9 hours, which is what COVID does to you. And I woke up after some really strange dreams. I thought, what is it with these dreams? What is it with dreaming? Yeah, dreaming brings up lots of stuff from the unconscious, but do animals dream? If so, what do they dream? What are dreams all about? What is it in the human thing that makes us dream? And how come dreams are so strange and so sometimes different to what we actually physically experience? Anyway, the dreams gave me an idea. Astrology, there are some very down-to-earth, grounded, pragmatic and practical astrologers who deal with the material and the here and now. I like to consider myself as one of them most of the time. But it is impossible to study astrology for as long as I have without also developing a kind of understanding and an openness towards what's loosely termed as spirituality. Now, as soon as I talk about spirituality, a number of you will switch off because they're thinking, oh God, he's going off on a ramble again. But I want to define a number of states of consciousness. We all think. We all have a brain. We are all cognitive. We all have the capacity for incognition, recognition. We all can think. We use that lump of grey matter in between our ears to define our understanding and comprehension of the world around us. Everybody thinks. What they think, how they think, well, that's defined by individual experiences and to a large extent by the nature of certain planets in the horoscope. But we all think. The mind exists. We know this. We can change our mind. Our mind can be changed. We all emote. We all have emotions. And we all have feelings. These are innate. Feelings certainly are innate. We're born with them. We know them intrinsically inside ourselves. Our feelings are ours. When we say to other people, or when other people say to us, you made me feel, that's completely wrong. Nobody makes you feel. You are responsible for your own feelings. Emotions are different. Emotions are caused by interaction with external phenomena, with the outside world, with other people. And that's where a kind of contradiction occurs, because emotions are more externalized and externally influenced. Feelings are more internally influenced. Everyone has feelings. Everyone has emotions. The way we feel, well, that's dictated again by our own individual experiences and to an extent by the position of planets in the horoscope. I mean, with the mind, it's Mercury, and to a lesser extent Uranus, and with the moon, with the feelings, it's the moon, and sometimes to a lesser extent Neptune. Beyond the basic human states that we all have of emotion, feeling and thought, there are other states of consciousness which some people choose to develop and some people choose to ignore. And this to me represents the difference between human beings and humans being. I like to think of myself as the latter. I like to think of myself as conscious. I'm sure we all do. When it comes to describing those other states of consciousness, there's a couple of ways I look at things. Everyone considers themselves as being intuitive to some state, to some degree or another. Intuition is that state of being where you just go, oh, this doesn't feel right. Oh, no, they're not telling the truth. Oh, I'm not sure that I agree with this. And there's no rationale behind it. There is no logic to intuition. If you study the etymology of the word intuition, internal learning, internal teaching, the way we listen to our own inner voices. But in order to work with intuition, we have to be able to not so much understand it, but rationalize it. Hence, we say that intuition comes through as a feeling or as words that pop into our head. We rationalize it. We put words into it so we can describe it. We use feelings so we can say, yeah, this is making me feel like this. And intuition, I believe, is a human construct. We were born with the potential to develop it, and we were born with the capacity to become far more intuitive than we think we can. And there's nothing wrong with intuition, it's a great thing. But it is essentially a human construct, born of the development of consciousness, mind and feeling. Beyond that, we live in an animal body. We live in a body that's been sort of evolving over the last couple of million years. From a hairy, single brain lobed animal on the East African plains getting off its knuckles and standing up straight to where we are now, talking on tablets and all types of wonderful technologies. So the body, along with the mind and the consciousness, has evolved big time over the last couple of million years. But the fact is, we still live in a three-dimensional animal body that has not just needs in terms of food and water and recreation and sleep, but also there is an animal instinct inside of us all that is a flashback to earlier times in our development. And I hope that instinct never goes away, because to me, whereas intuition, I've said this before, intuition starts at the solar plexus and goes north, it's human. Instinct starts at the navel and goes south, it's a gut thing. It's based on fight or flight. It's a little bit connected with the adrenals, but it's more lower gut. And the instinct is when you just instinctively, immediately know something to be right or wrong. No room at all for negotiation, compromise, discussion or debate. It's yes, no, black, white, and it's instantaneous, it's nanosecond, immediate, and your body knows. Stepping out of the immediate situation that humanity finds itself in, whether that's defined as being in the last 100 years, the last 2 or 3 years, or just today, stepping out of that and looking at the long term. As many of you know, I've studied eschatology, that part of human psychology and future history that deals with different notions of the end of the world. And it's not going to end the way religion says it's going to end. It's going to end in some type of acceleration of evolution, some type of consciousness leap. And it seems that although spirituality is very much a woo-woo and a hippy-dippy subject to many, to the audience I'm talking to, it's a very real thing. And personal growth, self-development, consciousness, evolution, and the growth of your own relationship with spirit, however you choose to see it as being. Some call it God or Allah or Buddha, others call it Mother Nature, others call it the universe, I call it the upstairs department, call it what you like. There is an element of compassion, kindness and femininity, but also the capacity for being assertive and projective without being confrontational. Astrology is such a good metaphor for all of these tenets. As we approach this point in time that's going to happen within the majority of our lifetimes, probably mine, and I'm in my mid-60s, that's going to result in some type of consciousness leap for some, hopefully all. So the amount of kind of resistance grows to this from energy fields that sort of, without being deliberate, prefer to keep the status quo for various different reasons. And as we move forward in time, so our bodies, and to a lesser extent our feelings, our minds, our souls certainly, are responding to this magnet in the future that's putting us forward. So astrology is a metaphor. Astrology is a tool for self-understanding, and it's damn good with timings about personal growth and self-development. That's its single best usage, in my personal opinion, apart from knowing oneself. But it's also saying, keep your faith in yourself, trust yourself. At the end of the day, you're in a three-dimensional body on a three-dimensional planet. And for the duration of your stay here, if you can't trust your body, what can you trust? Trust your gut instinct, folks. Ramble over. Okay, I'm going to go back to my emails now. Thank you for all the messages of support from the last couple of days. It means the world to me. Thank you. I can't reply to them all. Thank you. Bye.